The Giants, it was an embarrassing game. Now, you're going to take shots at the New York Giants. Are everybody shocked that the Giants got their butts whipped by the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia? No. Philadelphia is beyond better than the New York Giants because of the talent. Over the last couple of weeks, Jalen Hurts has not been 100%. And that hurt the Eagles and the way they position themselves. They had the best record in football before Jalen Hurts got hurt. They lost against Dallas. They didn't play well in certain games. And it has nothing to do with their quarterback play. They have the talent. A.J. Brown stayed healthy. Smith has stayed fairly healthy. Their running back, Sanders, has been healthy all year. Goddard has been fantastic all season long as a tight end. Going into this game, a lot of Giant fans thought, because of the statistics with the New York Giants, 6-0 against number one seeds in the NFL. Daniel Jones has had a fantastic year, over 3,200 yards, 600 yards run. One of the top 3 mobile quarterbacks in the NFL. Saquon Barkley was on his way. They beat a Minnesota Vikings team that a lot of people thought was a little bit better than they were. Wink Martindale has been fantastic, looking for a new coaching job and maybe a head coaching job as he interviewed for Indianapolis. And Brian Daboll, to me, was coach of the year. He has had a fantastic rookie season as a head coach. So going into this game, they matched up, in Giant fans' eyes, very well against the Philadelphia Eagles. But what we saw on Saturday night was a team that just didn't have enough talent to beat a team that was just that much better than they were. Jalen Hurts looked like he was 100%. Jalen Hurts went out there and completely dominated the line of scrimmage. Not only did he run the ball very well, he threw the ball accurately and specifically in the open field. A.J. Brown, we expected to have a big game. He did. We expected Smith to show up in his first big game as an NFL wide receiver from Alabama, and he did. Goddard made some plays in the open field. The Giants have had problems all season long against tight ends. And the defense absolutely dominated the line of scrimmage. And I'm not surprised that the number one weapon for the Giants was shut down. Saquon Barkley was absolutely shut down. I'm not surprised that Daniel Jones, his strength of running the ball, was shut down by the Philadelphia Eagles, because when you watch the film, the Giants gave up 268 rushing yards by the Eagles, the most ever against the Giants in a postseason game, breaking a record of 246 set by the 1935 Lions. Jalen Hurts had a 112.2 passing rating, which is 4th in Eagles playoff history. Boston Scott has 11 carry touchdowns against the Giants. Only 3 Hall of Famers, Jim Brown with 12, Leroy Kelly with 14, and Emmitt Smith with 21, that had more. And the Eagles outgained the Giants by 189 yards in the largest margin in the playoffs since 1949. The Giants completely got dominated. Daniel Jones didn't look good as he did in Minnesota. But does the Giant fans need to be discouraged for the season that they had? No. Slayton is not a number 1. He's not even a number 2. They have no number 1s. They have no number 2s. They paid a guy like Kenny Golladay a lot of money who only blocked in the playoffs.
His best play of the season, then he'll disappear for 10 games after that.
This team is not built to win right now. The benefits of being in the NFC is great. Tom Brady is gone. Aaron Rodgers looks like he could be gone. The NFC is going to be even more weaker than it was this year. So the Giants don't have to rebuild fast. They can rebuild a little bit this season and wait another year and then go all out on rebuild mode. It was a successful season. Were they embarrassed on Saturday night? Absolutely. They played against a far more superior team. A team that was not going to lose in Philadelphia when they're one of the favorites of winning it all this year.
Expectations-wise, you definitely cannot be mad if you're a Giants fan. Yes, you would want a more competitive game against an NFC East rival. Eagles that have beaten the Giants in the playoffs many times in the 21st century. So yeah, you were hoping for a better game, but expectations-wise, the Giants were not supposed to go anywhere. They're supposed to be one of the 4 worst teams in the NFC this year, and they made the playoffs. They won a playoff game in Minnesota, a 13-win team. They really exceeded expectations on the talent perspective because of Brian Daboll and because of Wink Martindale, where they don't have to look for as many holes, like you were saying. They badly need wide receiver help. I think they badly need offensive line help, and they definitely could use some pieces on the defense too, but you saw the Eagles really take that away. The Eagles dominated in the trenches both ways in that game. Their offensive line was the best in the league all year, and so was their defensive line when it came to rushing the passer. 70 sacks that led the league by far. It wasn't just Miles Sanders that ran all over them. It was also Kenneth Gainwell that had over 100 yards against them. The Giants really never were able to adjust. They couldn't get Saquon involved in the game because they were so far behind. They had to keep throwing the ball. And the one thing I'll criticize Brian Daboll for is they didn't really run Daniel Jones a lot. The Eagles have had trouble with running quarterbacks this year. They're not a team that blitzes very often.